Hauling now, baby. Create some weight. Here at the E Propulsion booth with my man Jeff Little. Congratulations on the win.
Thank you.
Best of Energy.
Yeah. So we won the energy category for our 48 volt, 23 pound battery that you can use between 1 and 4 of them to power the K-Max 2200.
You can daisy chain these things?
Yeah.
Wow.
So actually, I have them in the front hull here. I have 2 of them. I could go up to 4, but they're together.
Oh, nice. Got them foamed in.
Yep. So this cable goes all the way through back to the motor.
Yep.
And then these 2 are just linked together in parallel.
Easy.
Yep.
Just click and go.
Yep.
You can fit 4 in there. So I have an XTR, so that's nice. I like this. Not only do you got the battery, and we'll hear more about that, you got the motor. This thing hauls. Yeah. And then we got another we're going to get into in a minute.
So you need to understand that what we're showing is the first field test ready prototype.
Yeah.
It is not our final product. So I got 8.3 miles per hour out of this.
On the XTR.
This rig.
Yeah.
Yes.
It was pushing water. It was crazy.
That's our floor, not our ceiling.
Yeah.
So when I go back to Maryland, they're 3D printing a whole bunch of different propellers and saying, Jeff, take it to the lake, figure out what's the best propeller for that motor and these batteries, the whole system. So we're going to change the propeller surface area and the pitch.
Yep.
And there's going to be 9 different ones, and I'm going to try them on 3 different kayaks.
Okay.
I'm going to try them on this boat. I'm going to try a shorter one to see what happens. I think the shorter ones, it's going to knife in and swamp the back of the boat.
Okay.
So this may just be an appropriate one for bigger boats. We don't know.
Yeah.
If we can do things now in the product development phase of this to make it work on shorter, lower volume boats and really make them move, that'd be really cool. And you could do things with anti-ventilation plates, with the shape above the motor head. There's a lot of things that are still in play early in this product development phase. And I will say that we're working very intensely to do this quick to make sure that we have product next spring.
Got it.
So I got a lot of things
some
on
work
my
to
plate.
do.
Yes.
Now, with the shaping of the prop, how fast do you have this going up to?
This is 8.3 is our starting point.
So what do you think with reshape? How much more speed do you think you can get out of it?
I don't know on this boat until I just try it. But you know, our goal is to be double digits.
Oh, come on now.
Yeah.
That is such a tiny profile for so much power.
Yeah.
Seriously, when I saw this, it wasn't commensurate with how fast I was going and how much water I was pushing with the XTR. What do we got here?
So in the head, you have the GPS unit in here that tells you your speed and helps calculate your range. One of the little things that I did, this was actually part of our other motor development, the Klight 750, which we can get into in a second. Which is a fully developed product. That's available next month.
Okay, next month, right on.
But it's the same mounting bracket. You have multiple different holes because different 4-bolt patterns are different distances, and you can mess around with that. I liked it all the way back to feed this motor the cleanest water. If I put this handle on here, a lot of kayaks, when you put a motor bracket on there, you've blocked access to a handle, and it's just awkward to reach in there. So I actually stole one off of it was a native watercraft.
I was about to say, that looks like a
14.5 solo.
I love it.
Yeah, I stole it off a kayak that I had and just slapped it on there, and I told our product development team, like, we need to do this. There's room for it. That's
put
perfect.
It there.
So one of the cool things about this motor is that it has adjustable reverse lock. So the adjustability here, we call this reverse gear with adjustable soft lock. That is a spring tensioned little bar that goes across there, and that interfaces with this bar here such that when it clicks into place, you go right into reverse. There's no cord to pull, there's no cleat to screw around with, and it's not hard locked down. If you hit something, it will kick up. But
I like
if you want to just go in reverse, there's that spring tension there that keeps it so you can go ahead and back up, which is really useful. Say you have your wind at the back and you're working a shoreline, and it keeps pushing you into it, and you're getting bit, but like because it moves you in. So you're fishing a jig, you want that line to be great. If there's always slack in the line, you want a little bit of backwards pull.
Well, I was fishing with Jake.
I used it in that manner.
And I had a big fish under a dock. It was pulling me into the dock.
Right.
And I had no way to hit reverse. I lost it because it got me so close to the dock and wrapped my pole around the dock pile and snapped me off. So I was like, okay, if I had this, I might have landed that fish.
So I've used it with the Klight.
Yeah.
Coming down through a rapid.
Yeah.
And I'm moving, and it's like pulling the parking brake. You stop, you're like, cool. If I can control the foot control steering and get stable, I can fish that pocket, that pocket, that pocket, that one, that one, that one. It's a lot of tension. I know with the Klight, you can go up to 300 watts in reverse.
Okay. Will it kick up eventually if you put enough thrust to it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Usually if you just hit something. But
Got it. I'm talking about in the motor. If you're going to reverse, will it eventually kick up?
So that's the adjustability of it.
Oh, okay.
You can't really see it, but there's a big hex nut in there.
You can adjust that tension.
You can change that. You're basically compressing or decompressing that spring.
I
To
understand.
get more or less. So this is the one pull motor lift. I just dropped the handle there.
Oh no, I like this.
Transition
yesterday.
from motor to paddle or whatever, or even just getting out. You know you're coming shallow and you want to get it up. To be able to do it with one pull is critical. So
I've never seen anything like this before. You just make it up?
I made it up, and I had Trey make one. Trey from Innovative Sportsman made me one, and people saw it in the videos. I'm like, it should be a product. And he's like, I don't have time to mess with it. And then I started working with E Propulsion, and I brought it to the product development team. I'm like, you got to do this.
Yeah, that's easy.
Yeah.
And I noticed when I was on this yesterday, like I usually have my cleats up next to me because I got to like pull them up and then push them down. You could actually have, if I wanted that rail up there, I potentially can just move it behind me because it's so easy.
So I did this for the demo day to be out of the way.
Yes.
Because as a demo day boat, you're moving the seat forward and back.
A ton of people on it.
People with short legs, long legs. Mine is actually right in this area, like right at your hip. So it's really just ergonomically, it's just like grab it, rip it, drop it.
Do a curl. You're good to go.
That's it.
I like it.
So
hey, well done. This is I like this.
Yep. So let's look at the throttle. We did a very low profile throttle, so you're not catching your clothing getting in and out of the boat, right? Something that's, your magnet goes there. This is your power button. Something that's unique is this toggle switch here. So this switches from go mode is forward and fish mode is back. So basically, if you're gonna be fishing and working up a bank, throwing a spinnerbait, crankbait, whatever it is, and you want to hit each target as you go, you want to go slow. You want to keep moving. And if you're neutral to full throttle is 2,200 watts,
that's a big jump.
You can't slice the pie that small to get it to like 8 watts. 8 watts is a great speed for just moving along. You'll sit there and, I mean, I've done this with other motors. You go here and it's like, all right, that's 180. No, let me back it up. All right, I just turned it off. All right, let me nudge it forward. Yeah, I'm still at 56. Nudge it back and it's off. And I nudge it forward. I'm like, yeah, I'm still at 60. You can't slice the pie thin enough to get what you need. So you toggle this. It's actually backwards. And this is 0 and this is either 50, 100, 200, whatever you want to set it at. So I use 200, so 0 to 200. That way, when you want to get it to 6 watts, you do that, and it's right where you need it to be.
I was actually testing this on the water because you were showing me this on the water, and when I had it in the go mode, I was jumping on micro adjustments around 40 watts.
Right.
When I put it in the fish mode, I got it down to like 15.
Yeah.
And so this is
I
nice.
get it on 3.
I'm sure
I use 3 a lot.
Do you? You can. So maybe you got some more what do they call it, dexterity with your hands than I do.
I've just done this a lot, and it's way better having fish mode.
There you go. So
especially
you can even get
with
it
a more
lower.
powerful motor.
Nice.
You could adjust it to a curve, like you could set your own curve. Is that what you're saying?
You can set your upper limit, like the way that they code it.
Yeah.
There is an interesting curve. It's not a straight line, but yeah, it just gives you more control for when you're fishing. Fish mode, then go mode. I think it's pretty.
Also, I like the low profile, but you also have a screen. You can put it in a variety of places. Put it on the captain's bridge right next to your fish finders versus your throttle.
The thing you look at from the thing you touch is important, and I put it all the way up here just to show that off. That get it away. Yeah. Get away from your workspace around the seat. We'll go through some things. So on the screen right now, we have That blinking blue light tells us that the magnet isn't put in.
Got it.
The
Kill
orange
switch.
fish symbol in the upper left-hand corner, I'm gonna click that off and it disappears. Now we're in go mode, and now we're back to fish mode. The number on the right tells us our miles of range remaining. Our center one is our watts. I look at that a lot. And then the left one is the mile per hour. There's a lot of other things that you can do. With the menu, you can get into a lot of different other settings, brightness, whatever units you're using, the range. You can do it in distance or time. Fish mode, this is where you change the upper limit of it. I leave mine in silent mode. It'll actually give you different alerts for different battery levels and things like that. There's a lot of stuff to mess around with, but it's, you know.
So if you've been out all day and you put this on distance, it's going to let you, based off of the watts that you're using at the moment, tell you how much distance you have left for your batteries to go out.
Correct.
Correct.
Yep.
That's nice, especially if you've been out for a full day or you've been running and gunning all day.
So this system benefited from the product development that we've already done, and we have a finished product that's going to be here next month, and that's the Klight 750. You want to hop over there and we'll look at that?
I want to hop on it. While we're
I'm most excited because the shallow draft. Like I'm getting through 7 inches of water.
We watched your video.
The equivalent is like, say you're gonna drive from here to home, right?
Yeah.
And like, you got a pretty big highway out here, but like you got to actually walk to that highway, and then you can start driving. And then when you get close to home, once you get to that secondary road, you got to park your vehicle and like walk. I don't know how long that would be for you. It'd be pretty long for me because we live rural. You know, that to me is the equivalent of using a motor that needs 13, 14 inches. When you go to 7 inches, you can go wherever, you drive wherever you want.
Yeah.
It's so much more freedom. And I didn't understand it until I experienced it. But that's the Klight 750. Let's take a look.
Down there. While we're walking down there, how long has ePropulsion been in business? Because they're kind of new to my radar as far as seeing them on kayaks.
I don't know the number of years.
Over
I'd
a
have
decade,
to look it up.
right?
Yeah, I'm going to say it's like
13
12,
or so.
14 years or so. They've been very good in the sailing industry in particular. And they've done a lot with the electric-only John boat market, especially in Georgia.
Okay.
They work with the Tiny Boat Nation guys quite a bit. And
familiar.
do a lot of content. So bigger boats they've done, but they recruited me to do product development with them in the kayak space, and they've just been amazing to work with.
Yeah.
Really smart engineers that just, I've gotten my way with everything. There's been no pushback. I've never heard them say, well, I don't think we can do that. I've never heard that.
That's an innovative company.
Yeah.
This thing hauls.
So this rig, I get up to 6 mile an hour with this. So this is a 750 watt motor, and then this is the battery itself. Lithium cells are in here. This thing weighs less than 15 pounds. Really good for a throw and go rig, but if this is your primary motor, you're not lacking much. I mean, it's like, I have 37 days of the last prototype on the river, and I've tried to destroy it. And I've not broken the prop. I haven't cracked it open. There's been no water intrusion. I've tried to kill it. It does a really cool thing where it gathers the fishing line. There's like this outer hub that collects it, and like you don't have to sit there and pull the prop. You just throw it in reverse, and it just expels all the fishing line.
All right.
Yeah, they fixed that issue. So
the battery's in here.
The battery's in here. However, if you need more than 378 watt hours, which I've had a 12-hour fishing day where like I start fishing as soon as I put in, and done it on one and still had like 10% left at the end of the day. Long day.
Yeah.
But I was going fishing speeds all day for like, I mean, this was middle to end of June.
Okay.
And like, it was full day on the
How many miles do you think you put on?
I don't know, but like I put in at Amity Hall in the Juniata and went up and did some 750 watt full throttle shoots up through some white water, and then immediately shut it down and went slow and picked everything apart. But what I'll tell you is if you're gonna make a run, if you're gonna say, all right, I'm not starting to fish until I go 4 miles in that direction, what you'll want is the range extension kit. So this cable here, this is where we're charging. And I'm not plugged into the wall with this. I'm plugged into this thing right here. So this is taking the energy from a third-party battery here. We got an Epoch 50 amp hour. I've been using a 54, and the roughest day, the real stress test day that I had was on the Monocacy River at home. It was Memorial Day.
Yep.
We'd had a lot of rain. We're almost at flood stage. It's almost out of the banks. The treadmill's on full.
Got it. You're cruising,
and I went up 6 miles and back and picked it apart and just smashed big smallmouth on spinnerbaits on those rocky bluff points. That to me was the aha moment of like, okay, I'm good.
Yeah.
Yes, this is a 750 watt motor. I've used one for many years. It's 1100. I'm like, I don't know. Am I going to have enough power to do what I need to do? Yeah, in that most strenuous high stream flow condition, I got to where I needed to go. Now, I needed to paddle with it in 2 places in particular, but I was able to paddle with it at 750 watts and get up and over and keep going.
Okay.
So it's a great setup. $15.99. We're going to sell a ton of these things.
Yeah.
Because for that price, and you already have a good amount of battery.
Yeah.
Like, it's a great
Yeah,
setup.
people understand is like this is a motor with the battery.
Yep.
Right? So it's not like buying a motor and a battery.
Right. And it's super lightweight.
Yeah.
Super shallow draft.
And you can get a lot of
You have the same
of lithium-ion batteries for pretty cheap too. So you can go for a long time.
Yep.
What's the biggest boat you've had this on?
I did put it on a Bonafide PWR, and I think that top end speed was 5.4.
Okay.
So the boat you put it on definitely does
100%.
matter. I've had it mostly on my inflatable.
Okay.
My Innovative Splits inflatable, which goes super shallow, and I don't want to say it weighs more than most inflatables, but it weighs a lot less than most rotomolds.
100%.
But it did well on the PWR. I was happy with that. We tested that on Smith Mountain Lake in Virginia and did a bunch of like photo shoot and video, and I was like, I'm getting speed and range while we're here.
Yeah. So this is available now.
It's available in about a month.
Available in a month.
So we don't actually have many dealers that are in the paddle sports realm.
Sure.
So we're trying to grow a dealer base. So if you're watching this and you're a kayak shop, get in touch with me. I'll link you up with the guy that's signing up dealers quickly.
Do you only work through dealers? Or do you do direct to consumer?
We do not sell direct. If you're a dealer, we're not going to undercut you on Black Friday.
All right.
That just struck a nerve with a bunch of people.
Yeah, I know, right? So
it's only dealers.
How many dealers you got?
The distributor is called Mac Boring. The U.S. distributor is Mac Boring.
Okay.
And they're out of New Jersey.
Yep.
And I think they distribute, their warehouse is actually out of Michigan. They do the center of the country.
Got it.
Which makes sense.
Spider out.
But they operate with much bigger, they distribute a lot of marine engines of all varieties, and this is their electric division.
Okay. So at first, this might be a little bit difficult to get your hands on, but as you grow your dealer base,
it will be. It's a limited number that's coming in August.
Yep.
In October we have a bigger shipment.
Okay.
And I think the smart dealers are doing pre-orders.
All right. I own a lot bigger motors that go slower.
Yeah.
I wildly impressed when I saw that and I saw it pushing the XCR because I have one.
High RPM.
Yeah, it was crazy.
High RPM. But we gotta dial in that prop and the profile above it.
Yeah.
And we're gonna do better. We're gonna go faster.
I appreciate you.
Yep.
Thanks for doing what you do, Jeff.
Yeah.